All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dan down at Squidz here. We are going to be continuing our Crash Bandicoot Let's Play. Here we are at Sunset Vista. Let's crack on from right where we left off. Hope you guys are enjoying the gameplay so far. I know I'm definitely enjoying playing it and revisiting my childhood. Really getting hit in the nostalgic feels. And you know what's funny, right? I was thinking this question the other day, and I actually want to pose this question to you listening. If you could choose 5 languages in the world that you could be completely fluent at, what languages would they be? And it's a question that came into my head the other day, and I started thinking, all right, what languages would I choose? So obviously, position number 1 goes to English, so I already speak it. And after that, what would I speak? Well, I'm half Greek, right? So for me to be fluent in Greek obviously has a lot of practical appeal in terms of communicating with family, and when we go to Greece on holiday, it'd be nice to be able to speak the language fluently. I speak Greek at a basic conversational level, but to be fluent in Greek, I think would be pretty cool. After that, I think would be Arabic. I'm actually also half Lebanese. However, I don't speak any Arabic at all. And Arabic is obviously one of the most spoken languages in the world. So on a practical level, it seems like a no-brainer, but obviously also on a personal level, to be able to learn Arabic and communicate with family would be very good. And then I thought, all right, after that, where do we go? We've got English, Greek, and Arabic. I think you've got to go Spanish. Spanish in one form or another is spoken in such a wide variety of countries. And, you know, if you speak Spanish, you can mostly understand Italian, you can mostly understand Portuguese. So with that catalyst, it's like you really do cover a lot of the world by being able to speak Spanish. So for me, that's a no-brainer, and I think that's number 4. So that leaves us with the last option. Where do we go? Oh, bloody hell. How annoying is that? I spun him, and he's reflected me off. Anyway, I digress. All right, so where do we go for the last option? Well, I would like to learn Mandarin. Now, obviously, China's become a major superpower in the world. Mandarin is one of the most spoken languages on the planet in terms of, you know, active people who speak the language. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. I'm actually doing business with a Chinese company as well, so to be able to speak Mandarin, I think would be beneficial on a business front. And there's also, I don't know if you guys have seen these types of videos on YouTube where you get a white guy or a black guy speaking to Chinese people in Mandarin, and they, dang it, and their reactions are priceless. Like, they freak out. Like it's expected for people to speak English, but for a foreigner to speak Mandarin or to speak Chinese is like unexpected. So the reactions are always really good, and I've always wanted to like do that, you know, to get that reaction from people. I think it would be pretty cool. Gonna hit going up, just waiting for this flat. Ooh, I really thought I was gonna cop it there. Anyway, I think I've been definitely been spending too much time on YouTube. I've got a bit of a addiction problem, and I think social media as a whole can be really addictive. In fact, I made the decision probably around 5 years ago now to completely remove myself from social media. And at the time, I was quite active, especially on Instagram. I had about 26,000 followers on Instagram. I used to have a fitness-related Instagram page, and I was a sponsored athlete with a supplement company. And you know, as a result of you know, having some sort of business presence on Instagram, I spent so much time on it. And I found that it was detracting from the quality of my life. I was just really like, everything was about social media. Everything was about likes. Everything was about people's opinions on something I'd posted. And damn. And obviously that's not a good way to live. So, you know, when kind of battling this decision on whether I should remove social media, there's always that voice in your head that tries to tell you, oh, don't delete it. You need it. You use it for this reason, and you use it to keep in contact with these people, and yada, yada, yada. So I made a decision to basically deactivate it for a week. I said, look, let me give myself a 1-week trial. I'll deactivate social media, and we'll see how we go, right? if I'm enjoying being off it, maybe I can extend that time. And the funny thing is, what I found was after the week had transpired, so you go through that kind of like, oh, they all died. I didn't know that would happen. You kind of go through this like almost a withdrawal like phase. After I kind of got through those symptoms, I actually didn't want to go back. And that 1 week became 2 weeks, that 2 weeks became a month, and that month has now become over 5 years. Maybe a bit under, actually, maybe just under 5 years. And I did the same thing with Facebook, Snapchat. Obviously, I've never had a TikTok. The only thing that I feel like I've kind of still has a grasp on me is YouTube, because that's the only social media platform I have. So I find myself spending a lot of time on YouTube. I try to avoid YouTube Shorts for the obvious reason that they're the most addictive form of short form entertainment on the platform. However, even then, I still find myself, waking up and putting a YouTube video on as passive background noise while I, go about starting my day, while I make my breakfast. And it's almost become a, I better go back. It's almost become this kind of thing that I almost always need to have on in the background, playing some sort of video, getting some sort of passive entertainment or information in. And obviously that's not a good thing, right? I've done quite a little bit of research into the dangers of social media, and on the converse, the importance of cultivating a state of solitude in your life. That is to quiet the noise, to turn the noise down, and to be alone with your thoughts. So knowing the dangers of these things, it's not enough actually to pull you from their addictive grasp. Like, you need to be disciplined as well, which for the most part I am, but sometimes there are little things that we continue to struggle with, even if we're disciplined in other areas of our lives. So how do we go about reducing usage on platforms that we feel addicted to? Well, you start by doing something that you can handle, right? So something small for me, for example, would be, all right, for the first hour that for the first hour after I've woken up, and the last hour before I go to bed, have a total ban on using your phone, right? And that's not a unrealistic or extremely difficult proposition. So what you would do is then you would start implementing that practice, and over time, if you get comfortable with being able to abstain from phone usage in those hours, then you up it again, right? Maybe from there you put a limit on your phone, and that limit could be something like, I will only do up to 4 hours of phone usage. Hold on, this is a bit of an awkward. Damn. All right, let's try that again. There we go. Yeah, sorry. Is this the neocortex bonus, or? Yes, I believe it is. I don't think I've done one since we've started this Let's Play, so let's have a look. I think these are supposed to be more difficult than your standard bonus route, Mr. Box. Let's get it. Boom. But so far, so good. Okay, let's jump and spin, I guess. Boom. Boom. Yep. Yeah. That wasn't too bad. Yeah, anyway, what I was saying, back on the social media front, yeah, you could do something like set a daily limit of phone usage on your phone, which, that was close, which the apps, obviously, most modern phones now let you track. But I guess a good rule of thumb is you want to be a creator and not a consumer. What I mean by that is, if you utilize the platform in a way in which maybe you're creating content and garnering an audience, or leveraging it for perhaps a business, and you're using the apps purely for those productive endeavors, then ultimately it can be a very positive thing to be on social media. However, if you find yourself, you're the type of person to essentially just spend hours a day consuming other people's content, and most of that is passive consumption, where you're not actively engaged, you're just kind of swiping mindlessly, then I would hold on, struggling to get on this platform, there we go, then I would really consider if this is the most effective and productive and useful way to spend my time. And obviously, if the answer is no to that, then I would start to look at implementing practices that'll help me reduce that usage. And oh man, oh, far out. You know what it is? It's one of those things. Sorry, just to touch back on the gameplay here. When you make a mistake, you're so desperate to like rectify the mistake you made, so you quickly try to regain the ground that you had lost. But in doing so, you further the mistake and you fall all the way down, as we just saw there. But I think the this generation especially that's grown up with these social media apps, which are, by the way, they're designed to be highly addictive. It's not a coincidence that people are hooked on them. They're designed like that. They're designed by the same people that do. Oh man, I literally did the same thing that I was just talking. And again, oh my gosh. All right, let's try this again. They're designed by the people who create slot machines for casinos, with the whole purpose is to be completely addictive, so that, because at the end of the day, right, you look at social media, you're not paying with money most of the time. The apps are free to use, but what you're paying with is the greatest commodity of all, and that's your time, and that's your attention, right? Attention is monetizable by these apps. So by keeping you on these applications for longer and longer, then they can take that data and sell it to advertisers and say, look, this is the attention we have from people. This is the amount of people we have on our apps. You should invest your advertising money on it. Damn, how annoying. I hate these bloody horned lizard bastards, by the way. Yeah, you should invest your advertising money on our platform, right? So they're designed to keep you hooked. And if you're kind of growing up and developing with these apps before your brain is fully developed, you're going to have a big problem as you get older and trying to separate yourself from these things. It's going to be damn near impossible. Did I get all the boxes? Let's have a look. 82, so there should be 8 boxes here. Let's see if I got them all. 86, yes. All right, there we go. We got them all. Wow. So yeah, my advice is like, be cautious. Like, be careful if you're young. Before these things are like really deeply integrated, these habits, start to separate yourself from them and discipline yourself while you're younger. Otherwise, when you're older, you're going to be in a sort of hell, right? You're going to be doing things you don't want to do, and the things that you want to do, you won't be able to do, right? So start to discipline yourself. I mentioned it earlier, but you know, the importance of the human mind to engage in solitude from time to time, I think is so beneficial for our mental health. But I think, by the way, we've got another boss. Been rambling. We've got a koala Kong, and if I recall this correctly, we have to spin. I think he'll throw a big stone at us, and then we have to spin it back and try to hit him and avoid the carts like that. But yeah, like I think the average person is probably scared to be alone with their thoughts. So they want to constantly have that noise, that white noise in their lives, so that they don't have to face their thoughts, because they're scared of the darkness that may be lurking within. And their solution to that is to just completely avoid it. And we live in a world where you almost can avoid your thoughts. You can always have some sort of input playing nearly 24/7, which is why the shower used to be such a great time for getting these really good creative thoughts, because it used to be a time where you could just disconnect from all input, and just, you know, you'd be alone with your thoughts. You'd be showering. But again, nowadays, I know people who shower with their phones. They can't be away from their phones, so they've always got that input even in the shower. So yeah, I definitely see a negative trend. I think people are starting to wake up to the dangers. My worry is that the damage may be done for a lot of people where they're really, really hooked on these things, and it'll be very, very difficult for them to kind of detoxify from it. So I guess, yeah, if you're younger and you're listening, my advice would be, if you already don't feel the addictive pull of these things, then good. Like, don't allow yourself to get hooked on them. And it can be a very subtle pull. Like, sometimes, I mean, often the way addiction works is you don't realize you're addicted until you try to stop the thing. And then you have a lot of difficulty doing that. So, yeah, tread with caution, right? It's like Pandora's box. Once it's opened, it's very hard to put it back in. But anyway, yet again, I've done another deep philosophical ramble whilst playing Crash Bandicoot. Not a likely combination. Hold on, let me. Yes, finished, done. That was easy. But alas, here we go again, rambling, philosophical rambling with Crash Bandicoot playing in the background. And my channel name is Dan Squidz. I know it's an odd combination, but here we are. I think we're going to end this part here, guys. We've actually got through a lot of the game already in these 5 parts, so we're on a new island. I think this is the last island before we head up and battle Cortex. So if you've been around this long, thank you very much, and hang around for the next part as we continue the series. I'll see you then.